Hey everybody, welcome to Lisa's Art Room. Today we're going to be working on my field notes junk journals, and we're going to be doing some Essential Stencil transfers with them. So there is a link for that in my description of this video, and my code is ARTROOM in case I totally spaced saying it again, for a 10% off any discounts that they already have. So some of the things I show you on there is like this one is in stock, but some of the things I'm using, like this one, is an older one and I don't think it's in stock. So they're not all in stock. I literally just grabbed my supply of them to do this live, and I've got like a whole bunch of them here. So some are in stock and some are not. So hopefully you'll find what you need if you want to get some. I just dropped them all over the floor. So we're going to get started with this. Hopefully the volume is okay. I don't see anybody on yet. Let me see if I can figure that out. Let me pick these up off the floor. Sorry. If I don't, I'll lose them all. Are loose in these bags because I've already started cutting them up and I didn't put them in envelopes. All right, thanks for letting me know the sound is good, Dawn. I appreciate that. Got all my lights on? Yes. All right, sorry, I was running late. Hubby didn't get home from work till late, so that meant I started dinner late, and I was like eating at like 8:20. I was like, oh my God, I'm never gonna make it. That was crazy. So anyway, I'm here. I made it. So let's pull the camera up top so we can get started on this. All right, 1 second. And move this up so I can see my grid. About there. Boy, these are big. I hope they fit on screen. I don't have my... All right, they'll mostly fit on screen. So I'm working on these two junk journals. And for any of you purists out there, I know they're not junk journals. They are, you know, not all junk, but they do have some junk. So they're not completely not junk. I try to use at least some, and, you know, but I can't use all junk all the time, and you know, it would get boring really quick. So I could just call them journals, but honestly, people don't know what you're talking about when you just say journal. You have to say junk journal, or they just think it's something to write in. They don't understand. So that's why I call them that, in case anyone asks, because I've seen some people complaining on other sites about people saying they're junk journals when they're not really junk journals. The last one I did was a Puritan totally junk journal. So if you want to watch that, go watch it. So anyway, we have two different ones because these are commissions. They've both been sold. And I'm working on them at the same time. They are slightly different. But I'm trying to see, which one did I have a couple of projects I wanted to do today. And I had one that I already did, and I don't want to pull that up until I do it with y'all. I'm hoping I can get to at least a couple of the things. I'll probably start with the Wiggly butterflies just because that's what I said I was going to do. So I better start with it because, I'm sorry, I'm looking at it off camera because I don't want you to see the one that I did already. All right, so this is not the one I did already. All right, so we'll use that one for now. All right, so I have a whole bunch of transfers here, and what I wanted to do was make a page with butterflies that wiggle. You know, they move around, they got some action to them, they're a little bit interactive. So I have these little action wobbles, and they're just called Action Wobbles Mini Action Springs. I get them from Amazon. So this is the size I'm mostly working with today, although I do have some bigger ones too. But they're just a little plastic spring with a sticker on two sides. The thicker part is the base, the flimsier part is the top, or the smaller of the spiral, in case you get them and you don't know, because it doesn't tell you at all. The bigger ones I have, which is what I bought last time. This is kind of showing you what I'm doing, but that's okay. Are these. So they are quite a bit bigger, like much bigger. So if you look in my favorite art supplies on my Amazon, which I'm not affiliated, but I do have it for y'all, and it's in the description of my page, I have links to both of these, and they say in my description of the item, because there's a place where you can put notes, the sizes, just so you know. Sorry, that goes there, that goes there. All right, so that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna play with these guys because it's fun, and we're gonna play with some transfers because I had those butterfly transfers. I have these tulips. I'm going to try to use some. Would like to use these tulips because Essential Stencil did send me this one to promote. So sooner or later I'll use it, but we'll try to use some today. These are ones I purchased. I'm pretty sure all of these I purchased myself. So these are not necessarily those. There's some pretty flowers in this honeybees one. This one is still available. The rustic flowers, I do not think is available. The Wings of Wonder, I'm pretty sure is not available. But the spring flowers and butterflies is. So you can still do this without the main butterfly one that I'm using. I'm just using it because honestly, I hadn't used it at all. And I've had it for like forever. So I wanted to use it. So that's what we're going to use. I'm starting out with the butterflies. And I'm not sure if I want to use, let me see, how many big ones do I have? 1, 2, I probably have enough, but do I need more? Honestly, I probably have all I need cut out, but I'm going to do one in front of y'all so that you can see me. I didn't want to torch y'all with fussy cutting too much. So, there are some pretty butterflies on this one. So I might do one of these. It's already very chopped up. Some are in my envelope, some are not. Let's see. We've got a monarch there. What else do we got? Oh, I have 2 things in here because I put them both in the same one. Go figure. I've got 2 packages of these, which I need to just throw them all in the same package because that would make more sense. Spring flowers and butterflies. How do I have 3? I must have bought 3 of them. I'm down to 2. All right. I'll figure it out later. All right, so butterflies. That one's pretty. I'm trying to look for ones that are the right size. So grab your little wobbly thing and you just stick it over it and see if it's big enough, okay? Some of these are going to be too small, you know. And then on the butterfly one that I'm mostly using, a lot of these are very big, and I've already fussy cut them out and put them on some vellum, okay, and that gives them stiffness that I need. So I did some already. I think I have enough, but if the colors don't work, I might cut out another one. I'm not sure. But some of these, the bodies are too small, so that doesn't really work without this showing some, and I'm trying to have it not show at all. So you have to kind of just play around with them and see which ones work. I'm going to do this little white one, though. So let me do that. I'm going to cut it out. I'm going to show you how I do this. I didn't want to torture y'all with too much fussy cutting. So when you cut it out, just give yourself a little bit of room to handle it because you don't want to touch the actual image because that's where the sticky is. So try to give yourself just a little bit of a border so that you can handle it. So, and then we're probably going to take some flowers from here, I think. I'm not sure. Maybe the bees. I got to figure out how I'm doing it, honestly. I kind of sort of halfway figured it out. All right. So first thing I got to show you is how to put them on to our vellum. So This vellum I am using is, if I can grab the package. Oh, I think I put it back in here. Yeah. So this is called thick vellum. It's very thick. It works with your inkjet printer. I have the link to it on my Amazon favorites. 167 GSM. Okay. It's an 8.5 by 11, but this is some nice vellum. I use this when I print those art pictures for y'all, but it's got some good thickness to it, so it holds up real well. Also embossed as well, but that's what I'm using. I've already got a little piece here. I don't think I'm going to need more, but if I do, I'll pull it back out. So I have a little piece I've been working on. And you just take your transfer. So Essential Stencil has a new transfer rub-on thingy. It's like one of those Cricut type transfer tools, you know. So I'm going to use that today. And these, when you order their bundles, which one was it? Was it the Halloween one? It's on my page, guys. I don't remember though. I was supposed to write it down. One of them was giving you that for a free tool. It says on the little picture. You'll have to look at that. But it's like $3.95, I think, normally. So it's not like crazy expensive or nothing. And remember, use my code, anything from Essential Stencil, you can use my code ARTROOM and get 10% off. Okay? So peel it off. Just stick it on your vellum. And grab yourself your rubby tool. And just rub it down. When you buy your transfers, guys, from Essential Stencil, they come with this little guy. Okay? And most of us don't really like it. It's a little too flimsy and kind of hard to hold. So I have my rub-on stick. Y'all know I use 90% of the time. It's just a piece of wood that I use to do this with because it's good for me to hold on to. But this isn't bad. I used this all day yesterday and it was fine. So these are decent if you don't want to use the big thing of wood. And they seem to work real well. So, hey Lori. Who else did I miss? Nobody. Nobody's on. Where's everybody? This is going to be a cute one. Y'all got to share it out and get me some friends over here to watch. I do these so late. A lot of people are not night owls like me. All right, so once you get it and you think it's rubbed on, and find your edge, and just, that one fell right off because it was totally rubbed on. So, and then after you do that, it's going to look a little bit cloudy sometimes. I don't know if it'll come through on the camera, but sometimes it'll look a little bit cloudy. And what you're going to want to do is just burnish it in with your finger. I'm going to do half of it and see if you can see the difference. Let's see. It'll come through on the camera. Well, it shines. But that's the only difference you can really see on camera, I think. But it does make a difference, so just do it. Just burnish it in. And then we're just going to fussy cut it out. Now, you don't have to fussy cut super, super close because it is see-through. But get, 1/16 of an inch or so. You could do right up to the edge if you're a really good fussy cutter. Feel free to cut right up to the edge. I'm going to zoom just a little bit. Not that you guys really need to see me fussy cutting, but why not? So, the trick with fussy cutting is to move the item as you squeeze the scissors, okay? And then when you get to a corner, turn it. You keep your scissors open a little, turn it, and then go back up. So we're going to go around this little antenna. And we're going to do the same thing here. So most of the motion is done with your hand that's turning the item, not the scissors hand. And I can't see because I got a reflection. But it didn't take me that long to cut all those out, honestly. And I usually just watch TV while I'm fussy cutting anything. But if you get fairly close, it turns out really nice. And it usually curves it a little bit, but that's okay because I kind of like that, the way it's going to sit up off the page a little bit. So that's how you do that. And I did that with all the butterflies that I wanted to use. And we're going to see if we have enough colors because I want them to be a little bit different. So I have purples and pinks. Some are sideways, sitting or landing or whatever, and some are flying, or their wings are open. I don't know. I guess they could be landed. It doesn't really matter. But, so a couple different colors here. I got a lot of purples. So that's what I have so far. And I'm going to grab my page. See if I can move these up a little bit. Okay. So the page I'm putting these on is a pink page. This page right here. So I put this on one of the avocado dyed pages. So I'm just going to pull this one out, the signature. This is only here because I was going to show you guys what I picked out for this pocket because we hadn't done that. And these are from those Tim Holtz wallflower papers, the 8x8s. And so I cut these out. I thought they looked real good. So they're not totally black and white, but I think it's a good transition to the next page because on both of the journals, the next page is pink. So they have a little bit of color to them. And I couldn't decide which one I wanted, so I just threw them both in there. But they're both the same. So that's what that is. And that's from this one that we were continuing. And then this one, I picked out pictures for the windows. So on this one, I wasn't sure. This is yours, Bonnie. Is she here? Let me look. I don't think I saw her jump on. Yeah, I don't see her yet. She'll watch the replay if she doesn't come on. But this is the same as this one. But this is only like a half. And this is the full version. So if we use this one, then it basically goes over. I can just go in there. What am I hitting? Oh, I'm hitting that a little bit. Okay. Anyway, it goes over like that. So it's basically the same picture, but it sticks up further. Okay. But this one is a little bit different. So if you don't like that one, I'm just going to put them both in there. Then you get this picture with this flower and it transfers to that. Okay. So that's what I did on that page. So that page is finished. Go back to my flower page. Let's pull these away. Actually, I'll just pull this whole thing away because I don't want it in my way. And yours is the same way, Dawn. It says sing cards. I'm pretty sure. Well, I don't know. Now that I think about it. Let me look. I thought it was, but now I'm kind of second guessing myself. Let me look. Try not to show you. I've got something done in here I don't want to show you. So let me see if I can find that real quick. There it is. So yours. Okay, yours was birds. I did yours different, Dawn. So yours is, now if you want the other one, I can totally change it out. But because I had yours on the bird page, I decided to do one with birds. So I found this one, this owl and a bunch of, they might be Orioles. I'm not sure. But so that little bird shows through. And then if you didn't like that one, I had this one. Oh, this is the same one. Oh, here's what I did. I did one with a frame and one without a frame. With a frame, without a frame. So they're pretty much the same, but they do look slightly different. So you can let me know which one you like better. I can just throw them both in there. I don't really care. But that's your choices. So a little bit different than hers. And then on the back is the same. Same 2 cards. All right. So there's that. Get that out of the way. Let me get this separated. All right. Here's Bonnie's. Okay. Trying to find places to sit stuff. So I wanted to put the butterflies on this page because it's pretty. This was stenciled on with, it's actually a cake stencil that I got from Michael's, I think. Let me see. Pretty sure it was Michael's. Trying to see if it says anywhere in here. Oh, it was Hobby Lobby. Okay. So this was Hobby Lobby. These are horrible stencils. I'm just going to put it right out there. They're not. They're for cakes. So they're very, very thin and very, very fragile. They're probably great for cakes. I'm not using them for cakes. But I love the design, and it was $1.99. So I do use it, but I only use it with like water-soluble stuff that I can just rinse it off and not have to scrub it at all because it's really, really, really thin. All right, but that's what I used to do this. So you can look in the cake stencils at your stores. I know Michael's has them too because I've seen them there. But it says this is from Hobby Lobby, so I can't get it back in the bag. But they're very flimsy. And then I have this one that's like a, I don't know, a flourish. Some sort of flourish. So that's what that is. And I just used pickled raspberry, maybe? Let me see if I have it handy. Is that what it's called? Picked raspberry? Have it covered up. Helps if you don't cover up the name. Picked raspberry. This one won't close for me. It keeps opening back up. So that's what I used. Tim Holtz Distress Oxide one. I thought it looked good with the avocado paper. Some of my avocado papers are very, very light pink. And some of them are this more almost a coral. It depends on how long you leave it in and how fresh the dye is. The second, third, well, like a week later, it gets darker. So the first day you use it, it's going to be lighter. And then as it sits in the refrigerator, it gets darker. So, but they're all avocado. Anytime you see me using pink, they're, well, I wouldn't say all, but 90% of the time they're avocado. So here's what I want to do. So I've got a big butterfly and then a little butterfly. I just got to decide which ones. I might put more than 3, but plan was 3. And then a sideways butterfly, but I need flowers. So I've also got this moth. So they're all very pretty. And then the option for here would be this little moth. Like that one. This one might be, this is smaller than I thought, but it could still go there. Or it could go on the plant instead of, I feel like that didn't seal down. I can see a little bit of spot there. It's got a little bit of an air bubble. That rarely happens, guys, that I get an air bubble. That's probably how I sat it down on the vellum. I'm trying to rub it out. All right. But none of these do. These worked really well. Okay, so I don't know. This one's yours, Bonnie? Yeah. This one's yours, so you can let me know. Do you like this one? So these are the 3 big ones. And Dawn, same thing. I can cut out more depending on what I use on hers. So they all really go together. It really does not matter. It's just going to depend on what you want. I think I kind of like this little purple one. So maybe this one instead. Something like that. I don't know. We'll see. So we got to pick out flowers. So I've got tulips and I've got This is from, what is that from? I'm not sure. I'll have to look. This is from the tulips. So there's several with the tulips that it would work. So basically I'm just going to put it down here and one of the butterflies will sit on top of it. And then I've also got these more like wildflower looking things from the bee one. This is from the bee set. So I was thinking I could use those either instead of the tulips or along with the tulips. And I also have the ability to fussy cut this one out and raise it up with maybe some foam so that there's a little bit of different layers. That's something else I was thinking I might do. So there could be a few layers, not so many layers that it gets like crazy thick or anything. So I've got this wildflower one. I think I have 2 of those that I can use. And then I have a bee I could throw somewhere. I have a bunch of bees, but I'm not sure if I want that direction of a bee. But anyway, so let's look at the flowers. Bonnie's not on here. I should have started with yours, Dawn. Maybe I will. Maybe I'll switch over and start with yours. Let's do that, because Bonnie's not on, and I'm not getting any feedback. Are you on still, Dawn? Let me grab yours. And that'll give her time to reply to me, hopefully. Just going to grab yours out. If I can find the page. There it is. All right. I'm just going to take this page out, but this is what yours looks like. I'm just going to pull that out. And this is the side we're working on. Okay. So, we switched books, but same thing. Like I said, they're pretty much the same. The color schemes are very, very similar. So, you decide which butterflies and stuff if you want, if you care. I'm just going to pull this other paper out so you can see the color. It's got greens, pinks, yellows, browns, purples. It's got everything. It's got them all. All right, let's grab some of... I had a couple more tulips that were small. And I'll just cut them out. I haven't cut them out fully because I'm going to put them directly on the page, I think. So I'm going to cut out a couple more tulips. I don't want them too big. Maybe this blue one. Unless you just want the wildflowers. But I'm going to need them anyway, probably. I'll use them for something. They're so pretty. I love all these transfers. And Essential Stencil's been helping me out, sending me some to promote, so, because I haven't had the money to buy them lately. Usually I purchase them myself. As ambassadors, you do get a discount, but, you know, it's not like free. I'm just going to cut the sizes out because it's just going to make my life easier if I have them and I can see what I'm working with. Sorry, I should have had them all cut out, but honestly I wanted to show you the sheets so you kind of knew what was on a sheet. So we're just going to have a pile of flowers here. Are you on still, Dawn? She's being quiet. I hope she didn't fall asleep on me. Oh, I can't tell. I can't tell. Which one's not too big? This yellow one's not too big. I'm trying to stay on camera. It's hard for me to judge where the camera is. And maybe this one here. I need my bigger scissors. I'm trying to use the little ones and it's hard to maneuver. That should be enough tulips, I think. I want to have like different sizes. I could even do, if you wanted like a bunch of tulips, this one works. I'm trying to get ones that look like they're in the ground, because I'm going to, whatever it is that covered, I'm going to paint, I think. Paint or throw some gel pencil or something down to make it look like it's fully on there. We're going to put this, I need more space. We're out of space. Oh, on the floor you go. Okay, so I have some more flowers. I'm still not seeing any responses. Y'all are gonna make me make these decisions on my own. No, don't do that. Not sure about the shape of that one. I feel like it might be too tall. This isn't the set I got that from. I bet it's the rustic ones. There's more butterflies in here, so I do have another one of those little white ones. Sorry, I might be off camera, but I'm trying not to make a mess. All right, none of those really that are cut out already. And get it back in there. Yeah. Okay. All right, let me grab the wildflower bees. And then the rustic. And there are a lot of spring type transfers, so you should be able to find something if you want to do a project like this. I don't know what that came from. It just fell out on the floor. All right, so the honeybees I know for sure is in stock. Fighting me. It's got some really cute bees and wildflowers. There's the other wildflowers. Lots of bees and wildflowers. I myself like the wildflowers. They're like, I don't know, daisies kind of. I don't want the bee next to it because I'm not doing the bees as they are. I'll probably add them somewhere. This could be a base. What else do you got? There's a little sideways bee. I don't know about him. I'm probably going to want these type of little flying bees maybe. That one seems kind of small, I think. How many do I have? I have 2 of the flat-winged ones, so we'll grab one of these. Okay, so I want to stick it somewhere. I'm not going to have time to get to anything else. This is going to take me too long. That's okay. We're going to make it worthwhile. So let's do this. There's a little bit of lavender on here too, which is really pretty. Could put in a couple of spots. I like this big one. But I might save the lavender for like a lavender page later. If I do something like that, because I do have a card that talks about lavender. All right, so I think that's enough off of there. And then the rustic one, I think these were from here. I don't think there's anything else in here. I've had this one a while. I think I must have used them all. Yeah, pretty much used everything on here. Yeah, there's not much left of that, so. I mean, there's plenty left, just not the size or shape that I need today. All right, so that's fine. Okay, that should give us enough to work with, I think. All right, either I'm not seeing comments or everybody went away. Last thing I see is high dep, so guess not. Okay. Let's see. So wildflowers, those are similar. Or tulips. Tulips are pretty too. I don't know that I could do a mixture. These are just two, together. to really do a mixture. Oh my gosh, I can't pick it up. Tulips. Some behind, something like that. Oh, I think I want this smaller, maybe on the inside. Possibly one like that, or let's see if another color works better. Oh, not feeling it. Are you not on here, Dawn? She comes in, she says hi, and then she promptly falls asleep on me because she has to get up super early in the morning. I'm trying to figure out what will work together. I'm not liking the way that's working together, so I'm going to say no. I am thinking for this one, I'm going to do the wildflowers because there's a lot of browns in here. And I just think that the colors for her page, this works best. So I think I'm going to do that. And I think that's enough flowers. I don't think it needs more than that. So we'll save these for Bonnie's and other places. I'm going to use these probably in lots of different places throughout the journal. So we'll do that. And then for the butterflies, either this or this. This matches the flowers better. So maybe that. So that would go there. They're big. That one's big. And then I think maybe I'm gonna redo this white one. This one's so bubbled. No, he's too light. I'm debating if I want a sideways one or just one over the top. About the purple. So there's not really much purple over here, so I think I'm going to stay with the purple on this one. There's plenty of pinks though. So I could do this one maybe here, or there's this one that's very similar to that one with only just a little bit of purple in it. Could set him on that flower there. Yeah, I think. And I've also got this one. I think this one's better. And then we'll throw bees just randomly. They're trying to come off my transfer sheet. Stay. I think that works. Hey, Cam. I'm going to see if I have... She's not here, is she? Oh, there's Bonnie. Yay. I can ask you questions, Bonnie. I have a blue one. I'm looking for colors. A white one. That white one I think is a little bigger. Is it bigger than this moth? Not really, but it's about the same. It's bigger than this one, which is good though. All right, I'm gonna cut it out. I'll have to put it on vellum, but that's okay. All right, so this page I'm working on, Bonnie, is Dawn's. This one's from her book, her journal, and I'll work on yours in a second. You can let me know. These are my colors. Let me see how much room I have. These are my other colors I have. I have a bunch of purples left, and then I can cut out more if we don't see what we like. All right, so decision is moth, this. If I know Dawn, she's gonna want the moth, I'm guessing. All right, so we're gonna do that. Okay, so first things first, I want to put down the base, which is these wildflowers, and they're gonna go directly on here. I just have to make sure there's nothing under there. Feels like there's not. So these are gonna go directly on the page. Make sure I'm up high enough. Maybe I can zoom out a little bit. Yeah, okay. can't move anything. So I'm going to put this on. Just peel it off. Don't touch the sticky part. And I want it to look like it's growing out of the ground, so I'm going to put it as close as I can to the bottom. And then I might add dirt or ground under there, so I'll leave it up just a fraction. Okay, get started. And grab a little tool and rub away. Be careful on the edges. Sometimes it'll pop up if you catch an edge. So if your edge is really close, don't let it, you know, snag and pop it up before you're ready. So I always kind of just hold it down. It's probably best to go in a row so you know what you've done already. But do I ever do that? Not really. Not really. Probably make more sense, right? So Bonnie, I know you're a little bit late. This is from the bee set, the honeybee set of transfers from Essential Stencil. Links in the description for anybody jumping on. Last I checked, which was this morning, that one was still available. It changes all the time, guys, so there are going to be times I'm going to show you things, or you're going to be watching a replay and it won't still be available. So you just have to go check and see. All right, let's see how we did. So just pick an edge and start. I like to run my finger under. Because I can just kind of see if it's not sticking. A little bit easier that way. But what you're looking for is it to be clear. If it's not clear, give it a little more rub. And then just go a little bit further. But it should be clear. This little transfer tool is working pretty good though. It's not super hard on my hand. You know, I'm a little partial to my stick, but honestly, it's about the same as far as hurting my hand. It's not like that little orange one. That little orange one's horrible on my hand. So this one's not too bad. I think we got it. All right, there. Now we have a design on there. You had a pain clinic appointment. Oh, you're all messed up. Man, I hate going to the pain clinic. I have to go to for my restless legs. I hate going there. All right, so I'm just burnishing it in. It also helps kind of take out those like scratchy marks sometimes you'll get depending on how rough your tool is. This one doesn't seem to leave scratchy marks quite as much. This one left a little, I can't rub it right now because it's down. Left a little bit, but they are burnishing out just fine. So just burnish it out. So that's pretty. Let's show you up close. Very pretty. All right, so that's that. That's our base, and we're gonna put a few bees. I don't think I'm gonna make the bees bouncy because I don't think I have any wiggly things that are big enough. So the bees won't be bouncy, but I do want to see placement. So I want this one here. I don't want anything outside my page. And then I want this one. So somewhere about there. And then what was my other color? Mouth? Where's the mouth? There it is. Disappeared on me. And I want this one like kind of in front of that flower, I think. Yeah. Like that. So our bee could go, let's see, where can we put our bees? Let's put one there. Maybe one of these little fat guys. I think we'll keep them low. I don't think I'm going to put it up there. Let's put them here. So go ahead and stick him. Let me cut off a little bit of this extra. Not too much. I want to be able to still touch it. So we're going to stick him here in that spot. And then this one. They're too big to put on the flower. So by putting them off the flower, it looks like they're just closer. So it can make more sense. It's not a big deal, but I'm a little funny like that. I like it to, you know, make sense proportionally. Alright, so I put this little bee here. Do be careful you don't pop it up before you're ready or you'll lose a wing or something. So just hold it down. Okay, let's see. I like to keep tweezers because I don't have fingernails. There's one little bee, cute. And a little bee here. This is going to be such a pretty page. I'm excited. Okay. Burnish him in. All right, so now, what we want to do is we want to back our little butterflies with our little wobbly things. So, like I said, there's a fatter piece, that's your base, and then the top piece attaches to your item. So, decide where you want it to go. Make sure, this one's a little big, but I'm just going to make it work. I'm going to trim it if I can. I think I can trim it. I could use one of these, but I don't know if it's going to be up high enough. Let me look. It might be high enough. I don't know. I'm just going to use the small one. Since I ordered these, I just got them in the mail yesterday, so I got them in time. Thank goodness. All right, so I'm going to glue the one to the item first. If I can figure out how to get this thing off. It's got a little split there. Nice, get your split off there. Try not to touch your sticky part too much. Now, whether or not this needs extra glue, I don't know. I think they're fairly strong. I have a ponytail somewhere around here. I'm just going to try to grab it with my tweezers. There. All right, so we're going to get that, and we're going to stick it somewhere where it won't show. Like right here. Should be good. Give it a good push. I'm not going to put extra glue. I'm pretty sure these are sticky enough to stick to this vellum. All right, and then we're going to peel this off and get hold of it. Okay, and then you want to figure out where you're going to put it. So I'm going to try to stand over the top so I can see. I want to make sure it's on the page. About there. So just squish it down. It goes pretty much completely flat because it seats into itself. Okay, and then you can take and just kind of take a tool, it could be a bone folder, whatever, just kind of, you know, give it a little push and make sure it's seated good. I think it is, but we're just going to double check. The next one. But see, these, they squish down to pretty much nothing. They're flimsy. Alright, let's grab this one. See if I can get it off. There's half. Second half's the hardest for me. I'm going to grab my pokey tool. Come on. I know I'm going toward my finger. Poke myself. That's what I usually do. Okay, there. So, turn it upside down. Try to find a spot where it won't show too much. They're see-through, so even if they show a little bit, it's not a big deal. All right, seat it in there good. All right, and then we'll do this part. And turn him around. So he should be able to stick on the transfer fine. I don't see any reason it wouldn't be able to. So I'm going to put it pretty much right on the transfer. I'm going to try not to get too super close to the edge. Just because I don't want it to catch when it is folded. So I think I'm going to go about right here. And you just got to kind of wiggle it around until it seats. The spring kind of seats and goes flat. Where'd I get the springy things? I got them at Amazon. It's on my favorites list. So go on my favorites list and look. It's in the description of my disclosure on my page. Okay. I keep trying to wipe that off. It's actually just a white spot from when I avocado dyed it. As hers is a little different than yours, Bonnie. Hers is actually avocado dyed with the stencil laid on top of it, but I didn't have another one of those, so yours is actually stenciled, so it's slightly different. Not a lot, but a little bit. All right, last one. Aren't they great? I love them. They're so cute. I love playing with these guys. It's fun. And because they fold flat, they don't add crazy bulk to your journal. And when I say flat, I mean like a 1/16 of an inch of that. It's not much. It's very little. Come on. All right, squish, squish, squish. And get the base off. And figure out where this one is going. This one is going to go, I think I wanted it kind of on this flower. So about there. Wiggle it a little bit till it seats in there so I can squish it. Trying to find it. Look at it sideways. There. Alright, squishy, squishy. Ta-da. Alright. So I don't know. Honestly, it doesn't even need painted. I was thinking I might paint ground on here, but honestly it doesn't need it. So I think I'll pass. Sometimes painting on coffee dyed or avocado dyed or any kind of papers like that kind of looks weird, so you have to watch it. But anyway, yeah. So they're wiggly. Wiggly, wiggly, wiggly. The little ones really like vibrate. The big ones more fluttery. Is that fun? Let me see. I don't know how well. Oh, why do I have a shadow? Is that my iPad? Or is it my vision? It might be my vision. Sorry. I think it's my vision. Let me jump up there. There's a shadow, but I can't tell what it is. I think it's just... No, I got crooked. Hold on. No, it's straight. Okay. Can only show half of it, so. I'm moving my light. Okay, there. I like the big one. It's more fluttery. They move a lot more than you would think they would. All right, so there's one. So when it's closed, let me find the rest of this page. So when it's closed up, okay, so it squishes completely down. All right, and they shouldn't get in the way of anything. You kind of can hear them click in when they seat into themselves, but that's how that works. So there's that one. Let's go ahead and jump on yours, Bonnie. What is all over my table? Something I was coloring. Let's see. This one goes here. This one. Where's yours at? Is this it? Figure out where I sat it. So I took the paper clip out. Now I can't find it. I'll find it in a second. 420. There it is. I found it. Okay. All right. So, Bonnie, these are the cards I picked for the pockets. You weren't here earlier. They're the off the Wallflower collection. So I thought that looked good. And then this is for this pocket. It can either be this card or this card. I'm just going to send it with both. And you can pick whichever one you like best and use the other one somewhere else. Okay, and then we've got our page with this pink somewhere. There it is. All right, so yours has a little more green on your side page. So this is it stenciled, so it's slightly different than the other one, but not a lot, just a little bit. So the colors are going to look, better with different colors perhaps. So we could do purple, or we could do this color. Let me find the flowers. Did you like the wallflowers, or do you like tulips? So we have some tulips. That would be like that. Or wildflowers. Could be this one. Or this one. So little wildflowers, bigger wildflowers, or tulips. And I have individual tulips, but I think they're too tall. They might look okay, but I have a feeling they're going to be too tall. This one might work if you want tulips. Yeah, I don't like the separation. Did you like the wildflowers anyway? Okay, big or small? So big is this one, and it's not really super small, but it's a little smaller. And it might depend on, what you like for colors. I still need to do this white one. I think it might work. Stenciled with avocado. Hers was because when I was avocado dyeing the papers, I put the stencil on top of it while it was drying. So Dawn's was done that way. Yours was stenciled with picked raspberry distress ink. So yours is different. Because I didn't have any more of the one that I had done when I made it. I only had like a couple of pages that I used the stencil on because I only have one stencil. So usually in a batch I only do one. unless I went and bought more. All right, so this will be your base. So let's go ahead and put the base on, then we can decide what butterflies you like, or moths. I still got to cut out that last one if you decide you like the color, which I might just cut it out anyway. All right, so I'm trying to get stuff out of my way. A lot of these clear papers. Okay, let's get this one on. Probably need to pull this off of the rest of it so I can work flat. I kind of want this one page, so let me figure out how to do this. I don't think there's anything on the other side yet. No, there's not. Okay. I just want it so that we can look at colors. All right. There. Okay. So let's get this one on here. So yeah, yours is a little more pink. Hers is a little more coral. But that was my choice, to kind of have them similar. I need to do another batch of avocados soon. I have all the skins already because I dry them and just store them. You do have to watch storing them though. You got to make sure that they don't start getting moldy on you. You can only store them like in a way that air gets to them and they don't get moisture, and it can be tricky. I've been keeping them in like one of those Parmesan, empty Parmesan jars, and keeping the pop up with just the holes so that air can still get in there. Because when it was closed, it seemed like there would be a little bit of moisture still, and it would start molding on me, and I ended up throwing away a bunch. I do have a video. I'm pretty sure I have a video on avocado dyeing somewhere. Probably over on my YouTube. Unless y'all are here on YouTube watching my replay. I never know. I say that because we're doing it on Facebook, but then it gets on my YouTube too later. So, all right, let's see how this is looking. You don't need another obsession. I know the feeling. And it does become an obsession, right? So make sure I get this little one. Okay. You just look at it from the side angle, you can see if it burnished good. All right, so there's that. So we have, for the big butterfly, right now I have this pretty pink moth or this purple butterfly. Both are pretty. Just depends on which one you like better. And then let me grab my butterfly sheet out again and see if I have another option. If I can find it. There it is. Okay. Do you like either of those? It's so me. What I miss? Did I miss something? Which one's so you? Or is that what you're talking about? Oh, are you talking about the obsession part? That's probably what you're talking about. Their comments come in like 45 seconds later, and I'm like, what are they talking about? I don't know. I think that one's too big. All right, so here's our choices. Oops. Get back over there. All right, so we have purple, pink. Another option could be this blue one. The green one, it's going to show, so I can't really do that one. This little moth would work. I've got room in there. Any thoughts? Yeah, the junk journaling. I'm glad you're enjoying it. Do you have a preference on your little moth butterfly for the big one? Let me know. Purple. This. I think that would be my next choice if I was choosing. So one of these. I do like this moth though. I think the moth is really pretty. You like the moth too? Okay. Moth it is. So for the smaller one then, what about the purple butterfly? You want the purple butterfly or do you want the white and yellow? Or, let me see if there's any others. Possibly, I have to look at sizes, so where's one of my little thingies? That's feasible. I got this one here. It's kind of a, I don't know. He's got some browns, some blues, some purples. That one could be feasible. Size-wise, it's always hard to find the ones that work size-wise. I think that's it. This one maybe. He's a little. Let me cut that out and put it on some vellum. So I haven't done that one yet, so let's do that real quick. Where's my vellum? I sat it somewhere. I will absolutely never find it. Hold on. Let's see if I can find it. If not, I'll just grab a sheet. And my goodness, there's so much stuff here. Ooh, I buried everything. Oh, there it is. Okay. Okay. Let's see if I can get this one down without an air bubble this time. Start at the edge and kind of work your way up. If you're having issues with getting air bubbles, it definitely will help. Right there. I got a little bit of an air bubble in this one here. I don't know if it'll show up. Let's see if I can show you it too. See it? Right there. A little air bubble right there. So I probably won't use that one for anything. I don't like the air bubble. It bugs me, so. All right, that should be good. Let's see if it grabs. Oh, edge still not down. Means those antennas aren't. You gotta really watch your antennas. Antennae. There. Okay. So let's cut this guy out. A little bit close there. Make sure I got all the way in there. Yeah. Couldn't quite make the turn. Sometimes you can't make the turn if it's too tight. It'll just split on you. And if that happens, just come in from a different angle. antennae is obviously the trickiest part. I don't think I've rubbed this in. I'll rub it in a second. It looks cloudy to me, so I know I didn't. All right. Burnish that. All right, much better. Okay. Whoops, don't drop her. All right, so now we have, gosh, no fingernails, guys. It's so annoying sometimes. Try and find some bees. I'm probably have to grab my page back out and grab them. All right, so we have our moth. We have this one. We need one for here. I'm guessing this one, but maybe you want purple. Let me see. I'm thinking you're going to want this one because it's got a little bit of both. So we'll set it on this little flower here. So it's kind of purple and pink and red. So that one. It's either that one or the purple one. That's what I have left. What do you think, Bonnie? I'll just start sticking the others while you decide. And figure, oh, I'll go ahead and grab the bees. That's what I do. I got one bee. There's one. We'll go ahead and lay him down. Somewhere, probably the same spot we did the other one. All right, so it'll be here, right here. Be there, and then we need a sideways one. All right, bees, where did I stick you? Oh, you're not on the ground. Oh, there you are. There's one. Of course, it's right in the middle. Sorry, I'm going to just do it off camera because I can't maneuver there. The pink one? Pink it is. You don't think the pink's purple, right? Gosh, no, I don't know. They're both purple, technically. Oh my goodness. Okay, so where's the? Okay, you mean this one, right? I'm assuming you do. Go probably about there. This is gonna go about there. I think we'll put this little bee right about there. Yes, okay. That's what I figured. Hope y'all like this. I think it's fun. I like doing the wiggly ones every now and then. I did the last time I did one was in, I think it was in maybe the Halloween one. I think. I did like some creepy guys, some faces. I feel like that's what it was. Stick it there. Burnish this little guy in. It is hard to choose. They're all pretty. I don't think you could go wrong. But I like trying to give you all the option. I know I would want the option if I was buying it, so. All right, so now we'll stick these on. It's so hard to get off. Come on. try to get it where you can't see through. Clear. If you put it real light, it doesn't stick immediately, so you can kind of see where you're at. Good push. All right. Stand over the top so I can see. Hoping my head is in camera. I like this moth. I think it's one of my favorites. All right, let's see. Okay. Make sure it's still good. So much fun. I would totally catch that moth and check him out closely if it were real. Yeah, right? It's like the Luna moths. They're so pretty. We see them every now and then. Not too often, but every now and then. I was trying to save one at a grocery store one day. It was like in the street, and I was freaking out. It was going to get run over. I'm like out there in the middle of the street trying to catch this moth. I finally got him and moved him over in the bushes in a shrub area. Who knows if he stayed there. I used to do that in Florida. We don't really see turtles here very often, but in Florida I used to catch the turtles and help them across the road. So we got what we called gopher turtles a lot out there. They dig holes in the ground. I don't know if y'all have those in Mississippi. So that's where you are, right? Mississippi, yeah. But in Florida we called them gophers. They're not like traditional gophers or a turtle. They dig a hole. But they were constantly like crossing the road. Go this way on this one. Every now and then you might see a snapping turtle. Not as often. Okay. Debating on where I want them. I think right there. Yeah, they're big. Well, full grown, they're big, but they're like that big, and they literally dig a hole in the dirt, and that's where they live. Very strange turtle. All right, so we need to go on to our next thing. So that's yours. Look, cute. The little ones really vibrate a lot. They're like really vibrating. And then the bigger ones are more fluttery. So cute. So let's see if I can get your pages back together the way they go. All right, so this goes like this. And then open. And this goes in there. All right, make sure everything closes okay. Yep. So if you decide to write on any of the pages before, you will definitely need to use your writing board. We will be making one to go in here. They definitely got some, you know, bumps to them. But as far as sticking out, they don't stick out that far. All right, so let's see. That other thing I was going to do today. Is this one already did? No. Okay. So I have this one that we did. If I can get it out of here without messing up my sewing. Hold on. I hate paper clips. They always snag. See if I can get this paper clip out. Okay. Make sure I'm the right way. So I had this card which has a pocket, and I wanted to put it somewhere, but I didn't want to cover it up. This is just a ledger. I just stuck half of it in there. That's what's going to be inside it. I thought about doing a tab, but if I do a tab, I don't know how. I couldn't put it here. I would have to put it like on half here, I guess, which I might still do so that it can come out easier, but it's not really a big deal. It's not that hard to open these to get to it, but it's just going to be like a secret little writing space. But I wanted to attach it to this page in a way that is fun and interesting. Now, whether or not I have time or not, we're going to try. Might run out of time, but I'm going to give it a shot. All right, so let me grab everything I need and get all my little other things out of the way. So butterflies, go back into my butterfly stuff. So I found some elastic. Well, I didn't find it, I had it. And some eyelets. Eyelets, so I need four eyelets. Now, I find that sometimes my eyelets crush too much and they stick through the other side sharp. So the first time I tried it, it kept doing that and I had to keep removing them. So I'm going to give them a little bit of extra protection. Even though this is the Tim Holtz wallpaper cardstock, it's still seemed to want to go through it. So we're going to use, let me find my big bite. For this one I needed the big bite because I have to reach all the way into here. And I can't do that with my smaller crocodile. If you only have this one, you won't be able to get to that spot. You have to have the depth that this one gives you. So that's why I'm going to be using it. And I've already put the holes where I needed them, but in a nutshell, I wrote them down. Let's see. So what I want to do is I'm going to have this go like this, and it'll be on both sides of this page. So it's going to go through these two holes like this, and it's going to hold the card in. All right, but I needed a way to do that that would hold this without ripping the page. So I measured out. So first I found the halfway point, which was 4 inches, because this is an 8-inch sheet. And then I measured out from that 1 3/4 and 1 3/4, and then the same over here, and then it's a 1/2 inch from the page edge. So that's where the holes are. They're marked there. You can't see them probably because it's just not going to show up on camera. And then I got to poke the holes. All right. Sorry, I was thinking out loud. Thinking to myself. So let's poke the holes. So we don't really need all this right now. So let me just move that aside. I already did Dawn's. I think it's Dawn's. Is this one yours? Yeah, this is yours, Bonnie. So first step is to do the holes. So this has a little slidey thing. This is for the grommet tool, and then back here is the holes, and there's 2 sizes here. You want the larger size, and you just look and see which one's coming down. If it's the larger one, you'll see it. If it's the smaller one, you'll see it. Okay? We want the larger one. And then you just line it up to your mark and find the hole. Okay, poke the hole in there. Same thing over here. Let me see if I can see it. There's also a brown spot there, so I want to make sure I didn't get the brown spot. All right, those should line up fairly straight if I did it right. Let's hope I did. And one more. All right, so we have 4 holes. Now I'm going to put reinforcers on there. If I had some reinforcers that I could just buy, I would use that, but I don't have any. So I had to make some, and I did. And then I sat them somewhere. Where did I set them? I don't think they're in here. Let me look. Nope, not there. So I just used another scrap of that. It's not that exact one, but it's close enough. I'm trying to find where I sat them. Where did you put them? Oh my goodness. If I can't figure it out, I will just make some more. But I did make some. Current projects. Do I have a tray? Did I have a tray? I did have a tray. Are they in that tray? No, are they in that tray? There they are. Ha. I bought a bunch of these little trays. Don't ask me where. It was either Michael's or the grocery store. I saw some at the grocery store and they were called snack trays. So I'm not sure. When I say grocery store, I mean Target. But anyway, so I went ahead and separated some stuff into them because they're great for keeping my stuff organized. So here's my little hole protectors. And all I did was I just basically cut circles on cardstock and have a hole in it. Cut the hole first and then cut the bigger circle, because if you don't, you'll never get it in there. So just trust me. I really need 4 more though, because I wasn't going to do them on the other side too. I'm trying to remember what I was going to do with the other side. I honestly don't know yet, so you know what? We'll worry about that when the time comes. I don't think I need it on the other side. This is the side that the grommet tries to come back through, is this side more. So I don't think it's going to be an issue. So I'm just going to glue these on. It's just going to give it a little bit more protection so that I don't have an issue. They don't match exactly, but it's not a big deal. It doesn't have to match exactly. So let me just stick these on. And they're not perfectly round, but I tried to get somewhat round. I used hole protectors that I had. They're the really thin ones. And I just used that for the shape by sticking it to it. See if I can line them up. Not too bad. It's going to get glue all over. Okay, there's one. And by that I mean, oh my gosh, my fingers. Hole protectors. Hole protectors. Guys, I'm getting quite the collection of envelopes. I mean these guys. So I take these basic hole protectors and I color them with stamps or ink or coffee dye them with spray. Well, I just distress ink them on coffee dye them. But I took a couple of these out, stuck them to the cardstock, and then traced around them for the shape. Because I didn't have a hole punch this size. My smallest one was like a 1/2 inch or something. It was too big. I mean, I could have used it, but it would have shown a lot, and I didn't really want it to show that much. So that is how I did them. So it was kind of like a cheat way to get a circle halfway decent without using a hole punch. You know, maybe you're better at doing eyelets than I am. I don't know. They just kept trying to eat through the page on me, and it was annoying me. So I decided this is better. Plus, it gives it a little more strength with that elastic pulling on it. It shouldn't be an issue with the eyelet in there, but just in case. I'm just putting a little bit of glue to keep them in place. Trying to keep them lined up to my circles. I think I did okay. All right. So now we're just gonna throw our eyelets in there. Hopefully the hole's lined up. Let me put my pen back in here real quick. What time? Okay, we're okay. I think I can do this. Man, melting, guys. It wasn't hot, but now I am. All right, so now you want to switch it. You don't want your hole punch anymore, so you want to go all the way to the end. And then the setting for the larger ones on the big one is A on the top. And you can use a couple of different ones, but I like, I think it's 1. It's hard to read. I'm pretty sure it's 1 is the one I've been using. Maybe that's the issue. Let me see what I'm using on this one. Maybe that's why it was spreading out so much on me. Nope, this is 1 too. So I've been using 1. It usually works okay. But I've heard a couple other people do it using a different one. Maybe 2 or what's this last one? Gosh, I can't see it, guys. Where's my magnifying glass? I can't see nothing. Doing the glare 3. So I think you can use either 1, 2, or 3, but you're just going to have to play around and see which one you like best. I've been using 1. So what you want to do is you want the prong that comes down to go into the eyelet. So there's like a prong right here. See this little prong? That's going to sit into the hole of the eyelet, and then you're going to squeeze it. And you don't want to squeeze it so hard that it just destroys it. But it has to be firm. So it's like this, it's a fine line, guys. And that one just went weird. I don't even know what that one just did. All right, now I gotta take it out. That one, that one went very strange. I have no idea. I don't know if I can get it out of there. I think I can get it out of there. I've taken enough of these out of here. It's tricky. But every now and then they just don't work. And that one just did not work. Now do be careful if you're using a tool like this because it is sharp. can get this to bend up. What was I using yesterday? I think I was using my wire nose cutters. They're tricky to get out when they don't work. Because the idea is they're not supposed to come out. But they will. It's just, you gotta fight with it. You gotta get it out of the paper without cutting yourself. I have gloves. She says as she, reaches for the glove before she pokes herself. These are my knife sharpening gloves because I am notorious for cutting myself. I'm just kind of squeezing it till it gets small enough I can push it back through the hole. All right, let's see if that's enough. Yep, okay. Try that again. Because I failed horribly on that one. I don't know what happened. Could have been the eyelet, who knows? Could have been technique. Try again. I think it's lined up. It feels like it's lined up. I wonder if I should switch. What does it say? Let me look at my cheat sheet. There's like a thing that it says when you buy them. Let's see which number it is. I feel like it was 1/8, 3/16. Which one is that? 3/16? Yeah. So yeah, it says A1. I'm going to use the one that they suggest. I think it's just, I don't know. Maybe it's the eyelets. It's got they have the little splits, which is the ones that tend to work best. But I've been having issues with them lately. I don't know why. Trying to find the hole. All right, let's try it again. Are we lined up? All right. I think I got it that time. Better. I need to pull another eyelet out. What does yours say? 3/16 eyelets are better on the A2 setting? Yeah, but that's with the smaller ones should operate the same. I'll try the 2. I'm gonna try it and see if it makes any difference. I fight with these things so much. It's quite annoying. Let's see. See, it didn't even flatten on the A2. So mine won't even flatten on the A2. Let me switch it back over. I don't know. I don't know. It always amazes me too, because some people just have better luck with one and other people don't. Which makes no sense to me. So I don't know. We're going to stick with this one. And hopefully it'll work enough. I'll probably end up covering this maybe. I don't know. I don't know what I'm going to do, because I'm going to have elastic through there, so if I am going to cover it, then I might have to redo the elastic. Or I could just cover it now. I might cover it now before I continue on. And one more eyelet, because I destroyed that one. Yeah, I don't know. I can never get them to flatten perfectly to where they're not sharp or, just look awful on the other side. So it seems like half the time I'll cover them up. And I've tried like hammering them down, which, you can do a little bit, but you can't do it too much because then it just really pokes through the other side. So, I don't know. I don't know, guys. All right, one more. But I'm just going to use them and we'll deal with it. All right, last one. just trying to get most of the sharpness off. This has a hammer end to it, this 5-in-1. Not all of them do. If you have like a 3-in-1, it won't have the hammer bit. So, in case you're wondering how I'm using that. All right, so we've got them on there. I'm going to cover this side up just because, and I didn't on the other one, but I might go back and retie it and do it again. So I'm just going to cover these with some circles. So let me find my circle box. It's floating around here somewhere. Circle box, circle box. I have a billion already cut. Hopefully I have a color that will work. I could just grab another piece, but I don't want to. I want to use what I have, ideally. Those have holes in them, don't they? Okay, I think this is them. Let's see what we can find. I don't know what I'm going to do with this other side just yet. Oh, you know what? I'm going to have to because I need the hole in it. And I'll never line this up. Well, I might. Can line it up. I've got like a little cheat thing for putting the hole. What I did is I put it on my grid, lined up the lines, and then marked the middle. And I did that on all the sizes. Okay. I think I'm going to go with, I'm going to go with 3/4. This is going to be too big because I'm too close to the edge. So we're going to go with 3/4. And see what we have for 3/4 in here. Hopefully I have a color that will somewhat match, or I'll just grab another sheet. Maybe I have a color that'll kind of match. I wish I knew what I was going to do with the page. That would make it easier. But I have to do it now because it's going to be sealed. So ideally I want to do it now. That blue's not terrible. Do I have more of those? What is that? I'll never find the colors. I don't know why I bothered to cut these out first because I never find the colors when I need them. That's not too bad. It's got a little bit of blue on it. You know what? I'm just going to grab a piece that matches because this is just going to be way too complicated. Let me just grab a piece. All right, cardstock. How about Tim Holtz backdrops? Where do you think you hit them? Sorry, I'm off camera, guys. I kept my mic on though because I keep forgetting to put it back on. All right, here we go. What is this? Memorandum? Anything in there? Maybe. I like to use the big 12x12s because chances are I'm going to cut it down anyway. I might have scraps somewhere, but I'm not going to dig for them right now. So we're going to use a piece of this big 12x12. These are the Tim Holtz. It's either Dapper or Abandoned. That blue's not terrible. So it's on the other side. Could do that. It's not bad. I could make it work. So maybe that. Let's see if there's anything better. Because I will be getting rid of at least an inch off of these, no matter what I use them for. Oh, unless maybe if I did one of the 12-page, one-page wonder things, then I might not. But 90% of the time I am. Those blues are pretty good too. You wouldn't see much of the shirt. Let's see. Because I don't know what I'm going to do with it, I don't know what color to pick. think I'll do, I'm going to do this. I kind of like the contrast it's giving me. So let's do that. Why not? All right, you go there. So we're just going to pick an edge. It doesn't really matter because I'm not going to, like I said, I'm not going to use the whole 12 probably. So let me grab my 3/4. So I think I'm going to do, the circle first because I already have that template to use that I just put away somewhere. Oh, I see it. Okay. I was like, where'd it go? I just had it. I think I stuck it back in there. Oh no. Did I put it back on there? No. Of course not. Why would I do that? Oh, there it is. I think I found it. Supposed to stick it back on there. Goodness gracious. All right, there. All right, so we're just going to cut this out. Maybe I'll cut these little flowers. Why not? I'll cut each of these little flowers since I need 4 of them. Okay. Put that there, put that there. Grab my template. Line her up. A Sharpie. If I can find my Sharpie. That wasn't it. Hopefully I'll be able to see this. Maybe. Let's see. Kinda. I can see it in an angle because it's a little bit shiny. I'm hoping I can see it. My chalk pencil's not sharp enough really to work. I might could have done it on the other side, although the other side's dark too. Oops. Not that it matters, but I'm marking my thing all up. All right, let's see if I can see this to bunch it. Okay. I could use my crocodile for this, but I think this is going to be easier. Sometimes you can see this easier than you can see the crocodile one. Just got to keep your fingers out of the way. I think I got it centered, kind of, sort of. It's almost the same on both sides. That's going to be the hardest part. It's never going to be centered perfectly, but I'm going to attempt. I will attempt to get close. But I know that I'll never get it perfect. Two. Time is it? Ooh, I'm running out of time. The last step is pretty easy, but let's see if I can get it done. Okay. All right, we're just going to cover these up so that they are not so ugly, as well as so sharp. And hopefully it'll stay on there. It's not got a lot of room to grab, but I think it'll be enough. Because it bumps. So it's got to kind of feed its way around that bump. Hopefully this art glitter will grab fast enough that I can do it. Come on. I don't think you could do this with any other glue. You need a glue that's really going to grab fast. Okay, there's one. Make sure I get it on. squishing around the eyelet until it starts holding. Come on. There's a bump there for sure. Just wish they would lay a little bit flatter. Not too much. Keeps releasing. It's like stick. If it wasn't so raised, it would stick easy, but it's raised, so. Plus this is cardstock, so it's a little heavier. Not crazy heavy, but a little bit heavy. But that definitely is going to look a little better and definitely safer for fingers, you know. There's no sharp spots. We don't want sharp spots. So I'll probably redo the other one off camera because I didn't do this on it. I'll show you when I'm done. They're basically the same. They're going to be identical. There. Don't know what I'm going to do with this page yet. I got to come up with something that has blues in it, right? I'll figure it out. All right, so now we have our holes. We need our elastic. So I'm going to come in through this side and feed it through both our little holes. And you could do this either sideways, or you could do like a cross. I decided to go with sideways, but you could go here to here too and do a cross. And then you want to get enough elastic that you can glue it. You could sew it, but it would be hand sewing. Pull it somewhat snug, but not crazy tight. Figure out how much you need to have it come just about to the other end. And I'm keeping that pulled just a little, okay? And then I'm going to use Fabri-Tac. Try not to glue it to my card. If I can hold on to it, like I said, I'm pulling it, so just a little, like no more than like, I don't know, 1/4 of an inch or so. We want it snug, but we don't want it so tight that it's going to warp the page. And then grab this piece, meet it up there. And just hold it for a sec. I'm trying not to, I don't think I have any glue on the page, but I'll double check it in a second. Luckily it sets up fairly fast. And like I said, if you didn't want to use all this, the glue and deal with this, you could stitch it, just put a few stitches in there, I would think. I didn't want to deal with sewing it, so I tried the glue and it was working fine. Just rub any off that got on your page. There. So that's going to hold just fine, especially once it really dries. Go this way just a little bit. one more, and then we'll be done. I got this elastic off of Amazon back when I was making masks. So it's just like a 1/4 inch, 1/8 inch. I'm not 100% sure. Where is that ruler? Let's see if I can tell. I'd say they're probably calling it an 1/8 or 3/8, or an 1/8 or 3/16. I'm not sure. All right, so about that much for that piece. And then actually I wanted to do it the other way because I can hold it better. Do this one first. This one here, and then this one about there. Right. I'm just trying to keep a little bead in the middle there. One, two, three. A little bit long there. Okay, so there. So technically both sides could be used for something like this. It does hold very well. Like I said, I already did it once just to make sure. So then we gotta put this back in our booklet. Let me find it. Our signature page. There and there. And here. Okay. So this is going to go here. And then our little specimen card is going to go in like that. Okay? So it just holds it in there. So it can be taken out and removed, and then we'll do something else with the other side. But it seems to hold it pretty good. Keeps it nice and snug, but you can still see it, which I like. Okay, so that is it. So we did a bouncy page with wiggly wobbly little butterflies, and we did a little cold specimen card holder for our pocketed specimen card. I'm gonna grab the other one real quick. Where's it at? Here. So we can see what we did. Okay. Zoom back out. Am I all the way out? No. Okay. Hopefully y'all could see what I was doing. I forgot I was so zoomed in. I think you had. All right. That's our projects for today. I hope you guys enjoyed watching that. And I will be back on Friday, and we'll do some more fun stuff. So, Wigglies. They're so much fun. They really are. All right. Thanks, Bonnie. I appreciate that. I love doing it, so. All right. And see if I missed any comments. I think we're good. If I miss anything, guys, I'll look at them later and respond. All right. Y'all have a wonderful rest of your evening. I'll see you guys Friday. Take care. Bye-bye.